Okie dokie nerds, so quick little deck run through for the challenge, which starts in 7.5 hours, and I still need to go to bed, so that's worrying. So if I wake up for it in time, this is what I'm going to play. Okay, we've got the CradleVine version again of the Bazaar decks. So this time we're going to be on 0 Once Upon a Time. It's a card I like, but we've just had 2 shops decks in the top 4. There's the One Ring decks going around, and they're like Saga style, full Moxon decks. And then Oops put up a big performance as well today with 2 in the top 8 again. So I've brought the Force of Figures back into the main deck to complement the Collector Roofs for some main deck hate. This means from my previous lists, I'm -1 Bloodgast, -1 Hogak, and the last 2 spaces have become Dismembers, which we're going to try and have 2 of the main deck, and that's hopefully going to deal with Bowmasters mainly, and Hull Breachers, as well as being like a little bit of an extra hedge against mono white now that we're down that additional Hogak that we had before, and we're not as good at finding them, so it's just a little something else. My third Boseiju has become a Yavimaya. If we're going to be facing the above decks, then a more reliable turn 2 Collector Roof seems good, in my opinion. And then what else have we got going on? Sideboard is going to be 4 Endurance, 4 Leyline of the Void, 4 Mindbreak Trap. Okay, so we've got versus Doomsday, we get 8 cards, 4 Endurance, 4 Trap. Versus Squee and Dredge, we get 4 Leyline, 4 Endurance. Versus Oops All Spells, we get 4 Endurance, 4 Trap. And then we've got the third Boseiju post board against Chops. That will take us up to, so 8 from Vigor and Oof plus 2 Boseijus. So 11 cards post board for those guys. And then we'll have the Dismembers for mono white. I haven't mapped or really thought through the sideboard. This is just what I've thrown together at 20 to 1 in the morning. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. I'll see you guys for round 1 in a little while. Peace out. Take it easy. Okie dokie nerds, round 1 against Federico Medal. They've got no results posted on Goldfish, which is always exciting. And we've got a powder hand. Less exciting. So we'll powder. We find a Bazaar of Baghdad, 2 hollow ones. Seems pretty decent. We are on the draw. No interaction. But it's what we sort of plan on doing. So let's see what they come with. Hopefully nothing too scary. That is kind of scary. That is kind of scary. Verdant Catacombs, Lotus. So typical bug starts here. We could get Hull Breacher. They've not revealed a Lurus, so Hull Breacher is well in the range. And this is a pretty classic sort of looking Hull Breacher, if you know what I mean. But I think the 2 4/4s should be able to beat a Hull Breacher. Not much else, mind you, but no Hull Breacher, perfect. So let's get rid of powder, Bloodgust. Cast a hollow one. Hollow one's on the stack, being pondered by our opponent. Oh, we get a Force, nice. What about another one? Any more of them Force of Wills out there? No, cool, and the Emerald as well. Ding, ding, ding. I like that. So this could be, Doomsday with a slightly different mana base, like just Watery Grave, and then you can play the Verdant for a bit of a bluff. But let's see what they get. Let's see what they do. It's a Tropical Island. Or maybe it's an Oath deck. Oath would be a bit annoying. Oh, Tarmogoyf, sure. I mean, that's not great for us, but it is certainly a problem that is solvable. So we've got those two main deck dismembers, which will be good. We've got this wasteland here, which could be good. And I think I'm into wasteland, actually. Oh, I get Bloodghast back? Yeah, tasty. So we'll wasteland the drop. We'll hold the ruby for a nice bit of discard equity. We won't attack the 4/4 into the 4/5. It might be early prime pump time, but we'll try and keep it a little bit sharp for round 1 at the very least. So Misty's to draw, bit of a shame, but they're kind of restricted on mana. They can't win this race, so they can't attack. And we're just going to draw our way up to this dismember, so that then we'll be behind on the race and able to run it into a Flusterstorm. What do we want here? Let's say we activate. I mean, the attack's free, right? The Bloodghast attack. But now I'm drawing 2, discarding 3. So I'm keeping Hexdrinker +1. I mean, the other cards are pointless. So let's just send the Bloodghast. Ah, they do find the block. Congratulations to them. But hey, look, no, it's back. Yes, I would like to use Bloodghast ability. So we're going to activate, see what we get. 2 Hexdrinkers? No, 1 Hexdrinker and a Ruby, I reckon, is better. Is that right? I certainly don't know this figure. I'm certainly not interested in the Chalice. I think I'll just do 1 Hexdrinker and a Ruby. So, Hexdrinker, cast a Ruby, put a little counter on. The next turn will be a 4/4, then 2 turns later it will be a 6/6, and the game will be well on its way. Unless this is a Bowman, at which point the Hexdrinker will go to the graveyard, and we'll be sad, and really far behind. Collector, sure, that's fine. Like, obviously it's big and scary, but we've got cradles, we've got this lizard. Rah. Taste it. And another. Okay. That seems fine for us. They're low on resources. We're not particularly flush for resources either, but no one's going anywhere quickly. That's another Tarmogoyf. That's a Verdant, okay. Can you even attack there with the Goyf here? I don't think you can, no. Let's draw a card. We're just looking for Cradle here. Wasteland or Dismember. Well, I need both of these. But let's discard the Wasteland for now. And put 2 Lizards into play. Still no Vengevine, still no Hogak. We've got some chumps. We've got some time. 1 Cradle pretty much puts this game to bed. Vengevine. I'm going to wait on the Vengevine. Because we're not going anywhere, right? We're not. All I'm doing is dumping the Vengevine into the board, into the bin. I don't have a Hogak to go with it. I've got a lot of lizards in play. My Moxen don't work, so. I wonder what you can hold here. Probably just Force of Will. Sure, so we'll spin it. Don't pay costs, my man. Yeah, that's piss annoying. Did I register the cradles today? Come on. Where are you all? I don't think I'm discarding this Bazaar of Baghdad, actually. I think that's kind of crazy. I'm going to keep the Dismember. I'm going to put a Lizard in play, put Vengevine into the yard. And I'm just going to keep the Bazaar. Not activating it. I'm going to hold it for now, for extra discards. But the whole joke is that if we get wastelanded, then suddenly we're just on, like, naturally drawing to a cradle, right? Which isn't an enjoyable place to be. Or naturally drawing to the third Bazaar. Paying the costs by opponent. Demonic Tutor, okay. Can you imagine? Main deck Tabernacle. I guess this is going to be like a Bowmaster or something. No, just Ancestral, okay. And Strip Mine's fine. We just want Cradle anyway. There we go. Let's go to the sky. See if they've got anything. Eight. It's a 6/6 protection from everything. All our creatures are big and scary. 6U. Tarmogoyf is now 5/6. I'm not sure how. Oh, Demonic Tutor was apparently a sorcery, and they've conceded a sick. Game 1. Cradle just 32 cards down, and that was close enough. So, this is where I wonder if we want a couple of these Endurance, just to bring those Goyfs back into control. We can probably trim a Boseiju. They've not got much going on in that department, I don't think. And then maybe a Dismember. That puts me +2 cards. We can probably trim a Dak and a Chalice. A Dak? No, I don't play Dak Faden. Wrong deck. Yeah, probably trim a Gak. So I just like getting rid of our, reliance on the graveyard. One Hogak might just be a meme, might be too bad. Maybe we do want the Boseiju against the thing. Against the Strip Mines and stuff and the Tabernacles, and just the fact that we want mana. Maybe being on 18, 19, 20, 21 mana sources. Hex Drink is our big thing. Gat goes to make us less reliant on the graveyard. Endurance can be a nice way of bringing back a Vengevine when they don't expect it, and also shrink their Tarmogoyfs so that our 4/4s can get through. So I like that idea. Sideboarding is just vibes anyway. And that was exactly why we... Oh, 61. That's exactly why we played this over the Squee deck, right? Because if you play Squee and you get wastelanded like that, the game ends. So, not the game ends, but you're always in a bad spot. So opponent's going to play 2 to 3 pieces of power on turn 1 because they're on bug. There we go. So, what's this? That's an okay. Could be beatable, actually. That could be beatable with this hand. Depends how many Tabernacles they've got. We got rid of the Bloodghast. We'll cast this. We'll cast a Hollow One. See if they hit us with the tab. But no graveyard hate is nice. Food token is fine. Wasteland's fine. So we can just attack Oko. See what they do. Do they want to block? Do they have a dismember? No. Okay. So we'll play Wasteland. We'll bring back our 2 Bloodghasts. And I am just going to waste them. We can restrict the resources and be ahead on board. And even if we aren't ahead on board, we're going to have dismember your 2 food tokens. Have a Bloodghast, have a Collect Roof in play after a Tabernacle hits us. So they look behind in this spot. It's because they are. But they are on 4 cards, which is pretty good. I probably don't want to be completely yielded through everything ever, do I? I do have instant speed effects in my hand. So Oka's going to create a food token. And how do we want to do this? Well, actually I can send all the nerds at Oko. Kill Oko. They probably eat my Root Waller. Then I can bring back my Bloodghasts. I think I just attack with everything. Don't care if my Bloodghast dies. You get a free blood basking, that's fine. Oko goes to the graveyard. We play a Cradle. And then they can have a tiny Tarmogoyf in the future. And I'm not flashing this in. Let's try to dismember them on end step. Nice, I got through. We'll slay for 8. We'll play a Bazaar. And we'll cast a Collect Roof. I think they've conceded. Yeah, we win the match. What a sick one. So that game 1 was cool. Really showing us why this deck's got a bit more versatility to it to the Squee deck when we're in a Wasteland heavy meta. I think we got stripped of mine twice in that one, and we were able to build up a board presence where it just didn't matter. And then game 2, same sort of thing. We got our 1 Bazaar activation. We discarded 2 threats. We put 2 threats into play, and then because we're on like an 18 land deck, we're consistently bringing these Bloodghasts back, and yeah, and we're able to overwhelm or just like ignore the fact that we get wastelanded, right? I did draw this Bazaar, but that's not going to do anything, right? I'm casting Collect Roof, turning off your food token, powering up my Cradle, so that in the future I can go Endurance plus Dismember. Casting Collect Roof here might just be wrong, but still, sick round 1. I'll see you for round 2. Okay, nerds, round 2 up against Magic Tonga, who has 0 vintage results, but they have a bunch of others across a range of archetypes, but Dredge, Living End, Ragdoll's Midrange, Glimpse Combo in Modern, and a bit of Group Hansa and Burn in the old Pauper Leagues. So, good on them. Means nothing to us. Maybe they're a Bazaar deck because of their interest in graveyard lists in Modern, but I don't think we can really think anything like that. So we'll press yes, we're on the play. There's no Bazaars here. So we'll go to 6. And then this is a full house with change, but still not playable, unfortunately. So we'll go to 5. They've gone to 6. So there's a Bazaar and a bunch of cards. So we'll keep this bottom Powder Vigor. Hope to draw it into AggroVine and see how we do. Opponent considering their mulligan. And then... Okay, so it's cards into the exile zone and we're against Dredge. And they mulligan to 5. Perfect. Alright, down to 2 for you, Monfrere. That would be nice. They mulligan to 5. We keep our 5. And they kept 5. Okay, so pre-board, Dredge is hard. Post-board, we've got 4 endurance, 4 ley line, and a bonus Besage if we decide we want it. Okay, so we're hoping to steal 2 post-board games against them, and maybe get lucky and sneak this one in. Wasteland to banger. I'm going to keep the Vigors over the Cradle. Is that true? Yeah, this gives me insulation against the hollow ones, right? So we cast 2 creatures, which means our Cradle comes into play. So that's exciting. Oh no, that's not how it works. It would be good if it was, but we've got 2 1/1s. They're going to bazaar us. We're going to wasteland them. See, how many dredges do they have? 2 dredges, 1 hollow one. Just the 1. See if they've got a force of will in there. Very possible. Nope. Okay, so they're going to be on slow dredging. I will spin this now actually. I'm going to hold the wasteland no matter what. But this will put Bloodghast into play. Dismember, collect roof. Yeah, cool. All those cards are useless. Wasteland, Wasteland U. And now we just want to dig for a Hogak, because that's our best card against them. And hope for no second bazaar. They've got an Icarid. Oh, paying costs. Ugh. Main deck Noxious. Very good. Well done. Well done. Usually only 1, but we'll see their deck as they go through anyway, so there's the bazaar. I'm going to get 2 big dredges here. 2 Narcs. Two Narcs is annoying, but this is it, isn't it? This is the joke. Discarding 2 Imps and a Creeping Chill, down to 1 card in hand. We'll flip this on upkeep. Vengevine, Collect Roof, Draw Step, Black Lotus. Do I want Black Lotus? Probably not. We're going to be very far behind, but we already know that going into game 1 against Dredge. You know, everyone's behind Dredge in game 1. Trading the Narc with the Bloodghast is fine. We're not trading off the other guys because we need the ability to cast our Hogak when we draw it. The reason we're holding the Lotus is it gives us good discard equity next turn, and I think that's better than the ability to kill an Archimeber and hit for 3. You know what I mean? So they dredge, they bring back an Icarid, or they bring back an Icarid, then dredge. Silver Smoke, Golden Creeping Chill. They've got an Amalgam, 2 Creeping Chills. Yeah, this is over. We're so dead. We are so dead. But we're bringing in 8 or 9 cards next turn. So we'll go to 10 next turn, next round. So 2 Silver Smoke Ghouls now, and then an Amalgam on our end step. It's going to make this very difficult. We'll draw. There's a Vengevine. There's a Hogak. Is that even good enough? Is there something better I could do? They're going to get an Amalgam back. So if I keep Wasteland, I can waste them. They'll get back an Amalgam. I can tap Bloodgust and Root Waller. Yeah, I think that's the best option. I unfortunately won't get to double spell this turn for my Vengevines. But we'll play Wasteland. We'll get back the Bloodgust, then I'll have one more blocker in play. Cast Hogak, pitching to this. So Lotus, Collect Roof, Wasteland, Collect Roof, Dismember. So I've got 2 Vengevines in the yard for as and when, if and when we ever get to do that. We'll kill the Bazaar to try and slow them down a bit. We'll have 2 blockers. We'll still take 7. We're dead to a Creeping Chill. No, and we'll take 4 actually. Oh, there's 2 Icarids. Alright, we're just browned. Okay. We'll make them do it. Yeah, block, take exactly 10. Okay. And a Creeping Chill for good measure. Right, good game. Off to game 2, where it gets a lot harder for them. Depends on what their sideboard is. They're going to bring in their Wastelands. That's fine. So, 4 Leyline of the Voids are going to come in. 4 Endurances are going to come in. I'm going to consider one Besage for a while. Chalice is an easy cut. Collector Roof is an easy cut. Dismember is a question. I think that should go. And then 2 Hex Drinkers. Maybe the Forest over the Hex Drinker. So that way we've got 3 Besage, which Bink on Bazaar, plus the Strip Mines, the 8 Graveyard Hate cards. Force of Vigor is going to be our Hollow 1 answers, as well as having creatures with power and toughness. Yeah. I like this. I do value Hex Drinker a little bit in this matchup. It's obviously not great. But if we just get into some crappy board stall where we've wasted them off of their things, off of their bazaars, and they're not bringing them back, then we can just end up in a spot where it's like a few Narcomoebas facing down a few lizards and a snake, and then we, make one singularly big reptile and attack them. So let's see how we get on with this. I will actually take the play. Bazaar, Leyline, Endurance, Hogak, sure. We keep this, get Force of Vigor, and die. 1 or 2. 2 because that protects our Hollow 1. They've got a Leyline as well. I'm still going to activate. Well, fuck. So we'll get rid of Yavimaya, Hogak. And then we'll play a Hollow 1. Getting rid of Yavimaya there might have been atrocious. But I wanted to be able to play around end step Force of Vigor. Okay, they're going to grief us. They'll get rid of our Endurance, I imagine. And then they'll play their Bazaar after that. There it is. And what have you got? Amalgam. I think we don't. Cool. So Hex Drinker. Do I want to trade off? I think I want to see if I've got a Wasteland before I trade off. I'm going to keep a Hex Drinker in hand. And then I'm going to trade off because we are the slow deck. We are the bad deck out of the 2 of us. In a game of tight resources, I imagine they're ahead. That didn't pump my Cradles too well though, actually, so that could have been atrociously bad. Never mind. That's what we did. Wasteland, okay. Wasteland's very good. They've got 1 card in hand, but an active Bazaar. We've got a Force of Vigor, which doesn't really do anything, because I traded off. and then they're going to dig to their vigors quite more effectively. Okay, so I will just pitch now. They've got no cards, no graveyard. But they do have the active bazaar, so they'll be ahead. They need to find some vigors and have enough left over in the tank to win the game with. And we're certainly not ahead, but we're certainly not like catastrophically far behind, in my opinion, right now. Because even when they've dealt with this issue, I'm going to be able to endurance them to keep the game going a bit longer. Is that interesting? I don't think so. Not at this stage. It might be later though. Okay, so they didn't activate Bazaar, they're on 2 cards, so we're getting Vigored. We're not getting Vigored. Okay, they're just trying to build up to... Yeah, they've got to get to 3 right so that they can hold Vigor green. So there we go, there's the Vigor. We're going to keep passing. And then when they put a trigger on the stack of some variety, no upkeep flip, that's interesting. Yeah. So, Narc, Powder, Silver Smoke Ghoul. We've got Endurances. Leyline Powder off of that flip. No other plays. Turn 11, what a place to be. So I'm going to discard now. I'm going to discard AggroVine. Next turn, we'll be able to go Hexdrinker Endurance. And that's going to be our clock, team. That is it. The dream. Oh, did they do a hollow one last turn? No. Oh god, and they've just put good cards in their graveyard? Bizarre, wow. Okay, I've got 2 endurances, so nothing good there. And then they discard their hand. Okay, so it's going to be our little douchebags against their 2 bazaars, which seems difficult for us, but oh, pay me. So we'll cast an Emerald. We'll cast a Hexdrinker. We'll endurance them pitching Root Waller to bring back our AggroVine. And I'll target them with the endurance ability, I think that would be smart. And then we'll strip mine them. Obviously they're still dredge, this can still go wrong. But at least we're the one who's like assembled the pressure, dealt with what they're doing sort of thing. So hopefully a crap flip here from them. Creeping Chill Amalgam, perfect. Wasteland ends it. Crunch. Counter on, and they concede. That was cool. That was cool. So, do you want to change anything for being on the draw? We could go for another land. I do like lands. No, I think I'm happy with where we're at. They did have Leyline of the Voids, but I don't think we're too bothered by that. We're going to keep the Fog figures because it will deal with their Leylines if they do have one and it's annoying, and also it will deal with their hollow ones. So that way we don't have to register Dismember. No, I think I'm happy with where we're at on the draw as well. So we'll submit. We'll see how game 3 goes. Game 3 on the draw is going to be a lot harder, but such is life. And this is one of those hands where, what are we really doing with ourselves, you know? I think we keep it. We've got a wasteland. We've got a bazaar. We're going to be able to execute our game plan somewhat. I actually don't know if this hand is good enough to keep, actually. I know we've got the bazaar and the wasteland, but they get an activation. Yeah, we could very easily lose this game. So bazaar. They went down to 3 though, so that's something. Imp, amalgam, imp. So we need our wasteland to do some good work. And then we need to just, hopefully they don't have a second bazaar, and hopefully we are faster than their slow dredgers. So they've hit a narc to start with, and they've got an amalgam. So 4 power turn 1, just how it was drawn up, and they're passing. Okay. Amalgam comes in. They've got 2 cards in hand, and that's over to us to find a AggroVine. Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. Root Waller. Bloodghast. Yeah. Root Waller, Bloodghast. And pass the turn. More amalgams is brutal. They're going to get in for 4. We're going to take it. Okay. AggroVine. Nice. So, activate Bazaar of Baghdad. This is going to be really close. Saying that. So, AggroVine, Force, Lizard. Cast this. Cast a hollow one, bring back a AggroVine. How many cards is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll be able to have an untapped hollow one. And a very large hex drinker. Yeah, that looks great. So we'll attack with the AggroVine. Possibly should have done everything pre-combat, because now I can't get Force of Figured. So we'll play a Gaia's Cradle. Yes, I'd love a Bloodghast. Yes, I'd love a Bloodghast. Activate Cradle for 6. This is cool. This is good. Cast a Ruby. Put a counter on here. Cast a Hogak. Exile these 2. Green, green, black, black, and that can get tapped. You'll go. They're on a slow dredge. Their amalgams will come in tapped. They need a Bazaar of Baghdad. I don't know if they can dredge this turn. Okay, they can. Fine. It's taking so much damage though. And the Narc can get in apparently. So the Icarid's going to die. You're going to block 1, 2, 3. So that's you're going to block 8, and it's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 20 something. Yeah, you're incredibly dead. And I've got an endurance. It's perfect. Put that graveyard back, friend. Now we just slay. I think it's lethal. Crunch. If it's not lethal, we're ridiculously dead. But yeah, 6, 10, 16, 24. Oh, Force of Vigor can bring that down a bit. You go to -2. We're victorious. Obviously getting fortunate to win that one, but the games were dope. I can't even remember what happened actually. I was so engrossed. But no, 2-0. Coming back from the 1-game deficit. I was very fortunate our opponent mulliganed to 3. We led on I think we led on Wasteland this game. On the draw, yeah, we led on Wasteland. And then, yeah, high rolled them with our Bazaar spins. And Gaia's Cradle making Hex Drinker thick was super sick. So, yeah, picking up that Vengevine Hollow, what was it? What was that activation? Vengevine Hollow 1, Hex Drink or something, just ridiculous. But good games. Round 2 in the books. We'll go off to round 3 very shortly. I'll see you there. Okie dokie nerds, this one's going to be an absolute banger. We're up against top 4 competitor from yesterday, Chess Knight, and they are on their Oswald Fiddlebender Shops deck. We are not going to keep the 6 mana source 1/1 hand, but our Forest goes, our Passeju goes, 2 Yavimaz and a Strip, so pretty brutal. A lot of our mana producing lands. Well, more cards to exile. Ship them there, that's where I want to keep them. What do we need on here? So we'll keep it and hope that Bazaar fixes everything, I think. Bunch of Wastelands, got a Vigor. We're on the play, they've kept 7. Let's give this a go. That's a Hogak. Maybe I want to keep the Hogak though, because I'm not putting anything to play. My Bazaar's getting Wastelanded, so let's put a Lizard away. Let's pitch a Cradle and a Wasteland, I think. And then I've got a Force of Vigor. And I can pay for Force of Vigor next turn through a Wasteland anyway, if they have a Sphere on 1. They're on like a mono white Golos Shops deck where they've forgone Wasteland. Actually, I forgot about that. Fuck. They've forgone Wasteland in exchange for Plains to cast their like dude. But it's a banging list. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend checking it out. They top 4'd the Saturday challenge on the 2nd of September. So yeah, it's a cracker, and I think I might play it at some point just for the fun, because I am partial to the occasional Mishra's Workshop. So that's a mana crypt. That's a win condition. I'm joking. That thing's getting blown the hell up, I imagine. Caracas. So our Hogak's good pitch fodder now. And Oswald. Sick. It's here. Manifold key. So let's just double check we know what we're saying here. So Oswald Fiddleminder, 2 mana 2/2. White, sacrifice an artifact, search a library for an artifact with mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice mana. Yeah. So it's just Birthing Pod for artifacts and a white mana. So we didn't get wastelanded. Caracas kind of dicks on our Hogak, but we have got wastelands. What do we want to do though? Do we want to spin? I think so. I think I'm into spinning. Because we can build towards a Hogak, right? We can just put a lizard in play. Do I want to discard the bazaar? I'm not really excited about such an idea. I like Boseiju. I like the emerald. I don't know if I should like the emerald though. Well, if I like Boseiju, I have to like the emerald, right? I could just go on double wasteland, force a vigor you. Wasteland you, vigor you, whilst maintaining a bunch of bazaar spins. That's probably fine. Hogak goes to exile. I get rid of Emerald, Boseiju. But then I'm like really on mana, right? Because we exiled a bunch of mana sources earlier. And none of them were cradles though. But we did exile a bunch of mana sources. So I'm not pitching Force of Vigor. I'm not pitching Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm keeping a green card. Probably the Hogak, and I can put the Lizard in play. Yeah, so I'm gonna discard everything on the right hand side here. I'm not sure if it's correct, but it means that I'm gonna get to Wasteland their Caracas and Vigor something at a later date. Not convinced, but I think restricting what they can do is going to be the best we've got. So, and if they don't do anything that makes us want to vigor them, we do actually have Caracas next turn. Not Caracas, good grief. Brogak next turn. So maybe that's something I should have worked towards actually. I know, because like the Lizard's so much better than the Hogak. So Ancient Tomb. And then we're building up to 5 mana. So I imagine this is going to be like a Golos. Paradox Engine. I can't imagine we're supposed to let that sit in play. Okay. Yeah, let's see where we get to. And then we can figure their brains out in the future if we need to. Collector Oof. That's a nice green card for our Force for Vigor. So that means we can activate Bazaar of Baghdad towards another green lizard or a Bloodghast. Or not. So Hogak, Bazaar, Collector Oof are going to go to the bin. We are going to wasteland them. And then I'm just going to Vigor Mana Crypt Paradox Engine, I think. We'll let you resolve a flip. They won the flip. Seems they won all the flips. It's kind of fucked if they have. Right, so they've put their permanents into the graveyard. And now they've passed the turn. we'll take a draw step. That's a AggroVine. So what are we ever drawing? It's not. Oh, this is correct anyway to do it this way. What does Cradle do? Cradle plays around Tabernacle, which they do have main deck. Nah. Fuck that noise. We're spinning for lizards, and that is it. Dink dink. No lizards here. Let's pass the turn back and question our life choices. No land is great for us, so just the double spin on upkeep. Bazaar and Wasteland. Cradle, Hollow 1. Green Lizard off the top naturally. No Dismember. Okay, Dismember's interesting. If I can ever find a mana producing land. They're all in my graveyard though, so that seems difficult. Just need to race them during another mana source, right? And then we're clowning. Good God. How many green lizards have we seen? One in exile. No Bloodghast. Oh no, one Bloodghast in exile. You know what? I think I'm just spinning again. I'm going to hit something eventually. I've got no cards in my deck, right? Like, at some point they have to just die. I don't know. Well, one of us is going to die. That's typically how these games go. One player loses. They've missed mana again. We've got 16 cards in deck, right? One of them at some point will be a green lizard. There we go. And then this is just going to be the world's thickest attack. I'm going to still spin. You're not my dad. Let's go to draw step. Bloodghast, just where we want it. Hogak. Pay a green. Hex Drinker. Force of Vigor. Bazaar of Baghdad. Crunch. 2 Vengevines come back. Yeah. Okay. And like, even if they're holding Tabernacle, we'll be able to build up to something like this again in the future with our 11 rich cards that we're holding. And they've conceded. So, yeah, it took us a while to get there. Fortunate that they missed those 3 land drops in a row. But a timely wasteland on Caracas that Oswald couldn't get going. And then I'm pretty happy with our Force of Vigor there. Taking out their big payoff and their mana. Sometimes it's scary to leave the key in play just because they just go like land Lotus Time Vault and you lose. I certainly think we want Beseiju. I think Chalice on the draw is going to go away. I'm going to trim a couple of Hex Drinkers in favour for a couple of traps, just for their big turn ones. And then the rest of it's pretty simple, right? Like, Dismember's going to deal with both Golos and Oswald. Beseiju is going to deal with artifacts and enchantments, and not basic lands. So I'm busted. We've got a forest. And then, yeah, I think I like this. Do I want Chalice over Hex Drinker? Nah, not on the draw. I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't want them. So, and that was cool though, right? We saw that Chess Knight had top 4'd yesterday, and we thought, we know what we'll do. Alongside another Shops deck. And I just said, alright, cool. The Once Upon a Times can go, the Vigors can come back. And it paid off in that game, so that's good. This hand's unplayable. This is not true, but it is shit. So, Powder or Mulligan? 2 Cradles. Yeah, okay. This hand is equally as questionable. Turn 2 Grizzly Bear isn't really where I want to be. Mulligan to 5, yeah, right. Oof. Alright, it's fine. We're on the draw. This is the one to do it in. So, put 3 cards on the bottom of your library. I don't really want to. Beseiju. Dismember. Maybe it's just Vigor in a prayer. Put back a Vigor. Show them some power. I think that's our best out to win, isn't it? I think so. I don't love it. We do just lose to a sphere of resistance. But that's the nature of it sometimes. Bog me. Nice. Another bazaar is kind of cool. So, Root Waller, Vengevine. Yavimaya. And we pray that there's no tabernacle. That's how this shit goes. If there's no tabernacle, our clock gets faster, our creatures stay in play. It all gets a bit better for the home team. If we get tabbed, we're suddenly very far behind, and we're just going to be on a similar plan to what we were toward the end of that game 1, where we're just activating 2 bazaars a turn, looking for Hogaks and big reanimate spells. So Mana Vault comes into play. Mox Emerald. Sensei's top. Crucible of Worlds. And activate a Sensei's Divining Top. Okay, so we're going to just like brown them for 11 next turn. And they're going to be at 5 with a tapped Mana Vault. We're going to have an answer to... Oh, wait. Dead. Fair play. We're dead. Well, they've gone and got something else as well. Yeah, cool. It looked good for a second, and then they played the Golos as the final payoff. So we're going to put our creatures back into the graveyard where they came from. I got too excited. So Mox Ruby just on time. What do we want to do then? Let's activate this. So what do I discard? I can keep like Cradle Hollow on. Yeah, I like that. And I think I'll cast it. Is that any good, casting it now? They've got 1 card. I think I'm actually going to try and hold and just find a lizard next turn and bring back the Vengevine. I think that's the best way to win. We're really far behind. That was a sick turn by them. I thought we had it for a moment, but there's Oswald Biddlefender. Right, there's the lizard that we wanted. Shit. There's no way, is there? No way of getting that Collector Roof into play. No, we'll have to find another one. Can't attack into Golos. And let's see what this Oswald does. It's quite exciting. Yeah. So Oswald gets activated. I imagine the mana vault's going away. Or maybe they just go for something big off a Crucible. So mana vault gets a 2 mana spell. Or 2 mana artifact into play. And it's going to be a time vault. And then next turn they get the emerald. And kill us with it. Okay. That's cool. I like that a lot. So we'll keep the nerds. We'll spin the Bazaar of Baghdad. Powder, perfect. Lizards. And then we'll make them do it. See if we've got anything for them to think about. We know we don't, but see if they can play in any other way. Man, that Golos absolutely ended it. It looked so hopeful for their whole turn where they just did nothing, and then we got slaughtered. But yeah, no, absolutely sick deck from Chess Knight, and then now they go and get the key. Probably cracking the opal or the emerald, but the emerald is the one to go. Now they've got all the turns, so we'll send it to game 3. This time we'll be on the play. That was such a cool game. I like Chalice now. I'm going to just drop Hex Drinker and bring in another trap. I think I want to do that. Maybe if I'm bringing in another trap on the play, I should be bringing in more traps on the draw. But so this hand does nothing, so we'll send it back. This hand does everything, so we'll keep it. We'll put a Bazaar of Baghdad back on the bottom. We'll cast Lotus. We'll play a Bazaar and activate it. Put Vengevine into play. Attack for 4, and then put a Chalice on 0. And see if it's any good. So Lotus is turn 1 insulation against the Tabernacle. Mishra's Workshop. Into Mana Vault. This could be a Golos again though, that's the thing, isn't it? The One Ring, okay. They draw a card. Oof. This is going to be a game if we win it. I'm not excited. Pithing Needle, sure. It's going to name Bazaar. I think that's sort of fine at this point. Bazaar's done its thing, we just need to find a Boseiju. It's a lizard. Let's play Gaia's Cradle. And ship it across. Okay, they draw 2 cards off the ring. Three mana for a top, or well, 1 mana for a top. Saga. Saga's going to be an issue. If they've got the mana to activate it later. But if they don't put anything into play, we're going to get in for 10, and they're going to be at 4 with a ring on 2. So that's something. Flipping the top. Playing a time vault, okay. So they're going to have a ring on 2. We're going to hit them for 10. So ruby, but I've got a thingy on 0. So we'll play a forest. We'll crack this for red. Play this guy. Pump this guy. Pump this guy. Go to combat. And 10 you. You go to 2 in your upkeep. Yeah, 2 in your upkeep. And then they've got to kill us. They go to 1 in their upkeep. Christ. Come on then. This will be a sick one for them to win. The sort of game where you look at your opponent like you're so up against the odds. If you do win, it's a good enough story for me, you know. It'll be super sick. Draws 3 cards. Let's see. They can have all the turns they want. They've got to deal with a mana vault. They've got to deal with a 1 ring. They've got to get an Oswald into play and get Summoning Sickness out of here as well. Without taking this currently scheduled 4 damage on their upkeep. Through a chalice. I can't find the line, but I hope it happens. Well, I don't, because I'd like to, you know, have a nice deep run in a challenge again. But if it happens, I'd be, you know, it'd be worth it. I genuinely can't think of a line that gets them out of here, but Workshop's powerful. Godos, Strip Mine. That would do something, right? That would get me down to just a Vengevine. No, because Strip Mine's tapped. For planes, flip the top. Oh yeah, blind flip after the shuffle. And they concede. Cool games. Cool games. That game 2 was super dope. And yeah, games 1 and 3 we just had enough power and pressure before they can get something going. Or game 1 we just restricted their mana really well with the Vigor's main deck. And then, yeah, that game was a nice Busto start from us. Disruptive Chalice, nice Tabernacle installation on the Lotus, and the Lotus powering out more damage later. And we were, yeah, Tabernacle insulated the whole game, which was nice. So, yeah, I'll see you guys for round 4. We're now 3-0. So, 1 more starts putting us in reasonable contention. 2 more locks it up. So, let's see how we get on. Okay, round 3, we're up against Medvedev. I don't know what they've been playing recently. Last time I faced them, they were on Loot Tree. They still are. Okay, so let's go and look up a Loot Tree list from Medvedev. We're clearly mulliganing. So, yeah, an Esper list where we're going to be facing a World of Hurt. So, Shieldred, Hullbreacher, Orcish Bowmasters, Lavinia, Narset. There you go, that's sort of like the crap we're dealing with. Plus restricted blue and black cards, and a Tinker Pile, so it could be hard. It's going to be harder when we go to 4 now. There we go. So those are some cards. We'll keep a Vigor. We'll keep... Oh, bollocks. This is so bad. They're 4 Sagas, aren't they? So I've got the Vigors. They're on the play. Not good for the home team. We're on 4. Also bad for the home team. The good thing is their lack of permission. This is a Chrome Mox. Is that normal? Apparently so. So I've got their list. What's this? Plough goes under. Underground Sea comes out. Lavinia. Yeah, I mean, let's take them off white then. May as well. Whilst we can. We do have those dismembers, remember. So if we can produce some lands... can't cast that, so let's just get to spinning. Cards go to graveyards. Hold Strip Mine for an Urza Saga. And then if they miss a land drop as well, right, then this is dope. That's a Saga. Perfect. Soul Ring, not perfect. I can see not spinning here. However, I think... Oh shit, Hull Breach would be a real pain in the deck, wouldn't it? Because I want... They've got 2 cards. I'm already under a Lavinia. I want to dig for a Bloodghast. If they Hull Breacher, we can just concede. And there's so many other cards that they can have, right? So yeah, I'm going to spin. If they have a Hull Breacher or Bowman, we just die on the spot. Yeah, okay, fine. It's just the Bowman. The Bowman's not as bad as Hull Breacher. It's still very bad for us. But we just want to dig for Bloodghasts and lizards and shit. Cool. Those cards are going to the graveyard. And like these loot trees make it very hard to... These loot tree lists are very hard to play around because obviously they've only got one of everything. But it does make it that slight bit more tilting when they do shit like that. Okay, cool. Cool. So we're just like incredibly dead. They're going to get loot tree. We get attacked for 6, attacked for 6. So, do we want to spin this? We'll go for 7 to 7 for the privilege. We can't put any creatures into play. We're not doing anything else. Vengevine's our biggest payoff. Dead. Cool. So yeah, so we lose. Turn 1 Lavinia. Saga, Bowman. That's pretty good against us. That's the Bloodghast we were looking for earlier. Let's go across to game number 2 then. And come up with a sideboard plan for Esper Singletons. I like the Boseiju. We're on the play, I like the Boseiju. Post board. There's me 1 Leyline, 1 Archon of Absolution, Containment Priest, Surgical, Pithing Needle, Tabernacle, Sphinx of the Steel Winds. They're going to have about 6 cards for us. None of them individually are lights out. All of them individually are fine. Leyline's questionable against us, but I imagine they bring it in anyway, just in case. So yeah, so I like the Boseiju. I like the Vigors. I like the Dismembers, I think, just because all their creatures are so good. Shieldred, Bowman, Hull Breacher, Lavinia. They've also got a Mentor and Opposition Agent. So I like the Dismembers. I think they're going to come up. We're never getting Ghost Courted or anything like that, so we can drop the Forest for the Boseiju. All these other cards seem bad, don't they? Full Moxen means we could consider a trap or 2. Yeah, and take out a Hex Drinker. Don't know what else I really want to be dropping though. Let's try this. I don't think the traps are very good. I think the traps are awful actually, but like it's too late. I don't know. But as I said at the beginning, I've not really considered this sideboard too much other than just like maxing it out to face those specific matchups like Doomsday and Shops. And other Bazaar decks, like very basic sort of place to be. This hand looks fabulous though, so we'll keep it. They've got a loot tree, which is quite exciting for them. See if they've got any plays. So, turn 1, we're going to expose ourselves to Tabernacle. Turn 2, we're going to put Collect Reef into play. So that'll be nice. So Powder's easy, this one's easy. I'm just going to discard the Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm discarding the Bazaar because the Bazaar that we've got in play is safe to everything that's not a needle. We've got green card pitch if we need it. If not, we'll just be playing the Collect Reef next turn. So Mox Sapphire. Demonic Tutor. Okay. What does DT get them? Just Force of Will? Time Walk? Lotus? Lotus, okay. So that's going to be like a Lotus for a Breacher or something. So we won't be activating. We'll attack for 4. And then we'll play our Cradle, and then we'll play our Collect Reef. And then we'll see. We've only got 1 Force of Will, so here comes the Hull Breacher. Yeah, we knew about that. And it's your turn. We've got a 4/4 and basically a 3/3 in this basking. And we've got a wasteland for that, exactly. Exactly that. So we'll lead on wasteland. What's going on? Alright, time's ticking down. So we'll lead on wasteland, because this is going to draw out the Orcish Bowmaster, and I can pump in response. No Orcish Bowmaster. So we attack with the Lizard and the Hollow One. No blocks, we'll pump it. I'm going to play my Emerald. It's unlikely that we activate Bazaar again this game. Mystical Tutor. It's not good. It's like a, what, Tinker? Ancestral, okay. Yeah, if they can't Tinker, can they? No. So, Ancestral, they're at 4 cards now, so they're going to go up to 6. I just want a green card to close this thing out. Tundra Plough would be awful for us. So one thing that's cute here is that whilst the Collect Reef's in play, we can like discard Bazaar to activate stuff, but yeah, okay. So they plough, and then they brainstorm. I mean, we're attacking for 7, right? So there might be something there for us, but Hull Breacher is a card. That's all I'm going to say. Mox Ruby. And pass the turn. Okay, so Hull Breacher getting in. Big attacks. Okay. So we'll attack for 7. That'll put them to 2. Do I want to replace the cradle? I think I do. Because now they can't sorcery speed a Bowmaster to kill my lizard. That might be awful. Any wheel really kills us. Archon of Absolution. Okay then. Now I wish I had my my thing. I fucked this up. I should have played my powder first. So we're going to trade with one of these creatures. Actually, if my powder gets forced or something, then it's really bad, isn't it? So, yeah, so they chump. Still relying on the whole reacher. They're only on 2 cards. Like, they obviously can have great things. They're down to 1. Yeah, so if I hadn't made that cradle play last turn, I would have been able to make it this turn and trade off all their board. They probe me. They're up to 3 cards in hand. Let's see if they come up with anything. And they've scraped over the line there. So, off to game 3. This time we're on the draw. I never know if I want the traps against these guys, you know? It's just... They occasionally do busted stuff. They sometimes don't. I'm going to bring in another Dismember, and I'm going to cut a Hex Trinket. I'm going to keep the 2 traps as they are. I'm going to keep the Chalice just because they do stuff. Chalice over Trap, I'm not sure about that, but they reveal a loot tree. We've got no bazaars. So we'll take a mulligan. This hand is awful, right? But it is a turn 1 Collector Roof with Vigor, Wasteland your other Saga. But then Medvedev's not going to keep a hand that loses to this. And I can't keep... I suppose I could bottom the Wasteland, keep a Dismember for their play. Like Whole Breach or whatever. This is close, but I think I'm going to ship it. Is that true? Am I going to ship it? Vigor's so good against them, and I can just put them on 0 mana at the end of turn 1 and play a 2-2. But then what do I put back? Dismember or Wasteland? I really don't know about this keep. This is really tough. Like, it looks good because we're going to, like, across Vigor, Vengevine, Wasteland, right? They've got no mana. But if I'm including Wasteland in my plan, then I probably just have to be putting back Dismember and praying that there's no turn 1 threat. They only play 6 creatures. Oh, I don't like any of it. But then mulliganing to 5 and just getting turn 1 breached is really shit. Medvedev keeps 7 cards in hand. I do not know. I feel like it's powerful. I don't know if it's powerful enough. But I also don't know what 5s I have on the draw which look better than this. Well, I have a lot of 5s on the draw that look better than this. But when we're facing Lavinia Bowmasters, Breacher, Shieldred, Narset, and a Tinker deck, collect roof kills, 16 artifacts. I think I'm going to keep it. I think I'm going to bottom the Dismember. And just hope that they miss on lands. Let's see. It might be really bad. It might be awful. I mean, we've played around that, that's for sure. Mana Crypt is fine. Underground Sea, okay. Do I want to figure those two on end step? Get their threat out of their hand, then cast the Youth, or just wasteland them? I'm going to go for this. This is going to pull out a Bowmaster or a Breacher before. They think they have to do it now before I play my Bazaar of Baghdad. So it's a whole Breacher, exactly. Okay. I did bottom a Dismember, which is annoying. And now we go Ruby. If I get dazed, this would be fucking horrific. Good God, Josh. How did he sequence like that? What happened? Beseiju, because we want to bink their turn 2 Saga. We don't care about their coloured mana. If they can't produce mana now, okay, they can. Mana Vault. Do I show them Wasteland? Probably not. I mean, I can Wasteland and then just die to Saga, right? That's a line. Do I like that line? I don't think I hate it. They've got 2 cards in hand. They need to find something. We also need to find something. They have Plough as their only answer to a creature in their main deck. They've got plenty of ways to find Plough. I don't want to attack. I like my spot. Yeah, so they've not fetched, so they probably don't have another land. And we don't want to trade off, because we don't want to give them their Mana Vault. Oh, they have got another land. Okay, cool. I just need to find one of those Dismembers. I think I've got 3 now, right? I think I bought in another one. Yeah, so there's 1 on the bottom. There's 2 more in the other 51 cards in my deck. What a delight. This might have been painfully bad. I think there was some merit to it. And it lined up very well against their hand, right? Because if on turn 1 we just put Bazaar of Baghdad into play and activate it, we just get absolutely bodied. It's just Time Twister. Loot Tree, okay, sure. Yeah, Loot Tree will apply some pressure. Bazaar can sit in hand. Let's attack. They take it. They're too scared of Bazaar. I don't have one, mate. Trust me. Trust me, there's no bazaar here. Trade off your creatures. So they're going to get in for 3, which means we can't attack again. Tinker's a powerful effect. I'll give him that. So yeah, we're going to lose to House or Sphinx, whichever one they feel like. Where do I stand on my plays at this point now that we're dead on board? Yeah, maybe 2/2 is just not powerful enough. I mean, we were losing the bazaar hands, but maybe just losing with the bazaar hands, but maybe just bazaring is the line sort of thing. Or maybe keeping the dismember was better than the wasteland. Because I punted my vigor on cards, it didn't really matter, right? What did I hit? I hit a mana crypt and a leyline of the void. So maybe the keep's fine, I just played it poorly, right? So we bottom dismember, because I've already got Saga covered. Yeah, so maybe my keep's fine and my play is horrific. I could see that. I could certainly see that. Yeah, I played badly, but the keep is acceptable if I put the wasteland back, because I'm already covered for Saga, I'm covered for broken starts, and then I have dismember if they do this to me. And like if I dismembered this whole breacher 18 turns ago, they'd not be dead, but it would be a very different game. So I've not got any outs here. Well, I have actually. Dismember the whole breacher. Spin. But then I can never get back into mana. So I have a collect roof in play. Oh well, never mind. It was interesting. It was maybe bad. So I'm on 2 life. Cool. GG's Medvedev. As always, a pleasure. Interesting game. I will accept all arguments that I screwed it up, and in both keeping and putting the wrong card on the bottom. But I think it was an interesting spot. So we still need that. We need to win the other 2. So that's going to put us to 3-1. Yeah, interesting. I'll see you guys for round number 5. Okie dokie, so round 5 here, and we are on the play once again, which is very fortunate, and we're up against the deck 84. So I know they play a lot of games, I just don't know what they use in those games. Grixis Tinker, cool. Tinker Breach. So 4 figures will be good. Are they a saga list, or are they just like a real gamer? So 4 sagas, 2 whole breaches usually, cool. I would actually like to play first, yes. I would like to put all of these cards into the exile zone. Get them out of here. Turn 1 Vengevine. Turn 2 Collect Roof. See what our man over there has for us. Gifts ungiven. Spicy. So I'm just looking at a list. So yeah, like a Grixis Tinker usually. No wheels to go with the whole breacher in the normal list. They've mulliganed to 5. So maybe they've come off of Grixis for the first time ever. But we're going to have a turn 1 Vengevine, we're going to have a turn 2 Collector Oof, or Wastelands, depending on what they bring. This is Bazaar Baghdad. This is some lizards and a Vengevine. So we'll get in for the old 4 points of damage. And yeah, get turn 1, I guess. That'd be good. They've mulliganed aggressively, so I imagine they've mulliganed to something either very, very... Yeah, they've got to just mulligan to something that kills me very quickly, right? Git probe reveals that I have nothing going on. But they know about wastelands, so they can't just roll out Saga. Like Saga Sapphire Time Walk is tough. So Misty Rainforest to play around the wasteland, and then off we go. Back to us. What do we want? Do we want pressure or do we want... Well, we get a free activation here for sure. Love a ruby. Oh yeah, pay me. So Bazaar's going to go away, Forest is going to go away, and one of the cradles are going to go away. We're going to cast the ruby. We're going to play the cradle. And we're going to cast a collect roof. Pump a lizard and get in for 8. They're dead next turn. Show me the magic. There was no magic. We win. On to game number 2. So if they're on a breach Grixis list, I'm just going to go back in time and look at some of the ones that aren't listed as breach. So this is all going back to the beginning of August, late July. And yeah, no, they're still breach lists. They're just not listed as breach on Goldfish because why would we need any consistency? So on the draw, we still like Chalice of the Void because their kill requires a 0, right? Hex Drinker I think is a joke. It does get through a Sphinx of the Steel Wind and keep life at parity. But some of their lists just forego Sphinx of the Steel Wind entirely, so that might not actually even be a threat. I would like Beseiju though over the Forest because it's going to be a nice way to kill a Underworld Breach. They play 2 creatures total, but they are whole breaches, so I'm going to keep him 1 Dismember. That gives us 5 cards to bring in if we want them. I like the Endurances. I think maybe 2's fine, and then a number of traps. Remove some sideboard. I think 3 traps, 2 Endurance, 1 Dismember looks fine. I don't think this is too over the top. They'll have Leylines and 2 Pithing Needles and a Tabernacle post board, so that's 7 cards coming in against us, possibly, maybe just the 3 if they know that we're not too graveyard reliant. And we've already trimmed right from our previous lists. 1 Hogak and 1 to 2 Bloodghast, depending on your build. So we're just less reliant on the graveyard anyway, so it's a nice place to be. And yeah, let's go trap some spells and tuck some graveyards. I'm keeping 1 Dismember as a hedge. It might be really bad. Bear in mind they did mulligan to 5 there. Now, if I've ever seen a hand which loses to Tabernacle, it was this one. I'd love to draw a Black Lotus. They've brought in the Leylines, so Volcanic, and a Pithing Needle. I can't cast this, so we are dead. Well, we're not dead actually, they've just got a good start and we can draw some figures. They do name Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. Nice draw, nice draw, nice draw. I'll play it out anyway, so I don't want to go discarding my green card. And this is the sort of crap game that you've just got to sit through, unfortunately. Okay, so nothing going on. And at this point I will just, you know, start putting random lizards into play. Like this one. I think. Yeah, I'm into it. Give me a 1-1. Because there's no point in building up to AggroVine, seeing as they go to exile when we discard them. So we also don't have the squeeze to get up to 9. Urza's Saga. So we need something soon. I'd genuinely rather it just be a wasteland, I think. Another needle. Cool. Naming wasteland, I guess. Bazaar of Baghdad again. Okay, that's interesting. That's really weird. I thought you'd need a needle. Like, or maybe they just... I needed something that wasn't this, to be honest with you. I need Vigors in Wastelands. I would accept a Lotus. No, I wouldn't accept a Lotus. These don't produce mana. So yeah, any land drop's going to kill us now, because as a Saga's better than us. Tabernacle of Pendulum, sure, that's not what I meant. Sure. The Root Waller goes to the graveyard. That's one of the most inconsequential things ever. And our opponent just kept a hand which has got absolutely everything. So that's kind of fine. That's just bang on time. I don't really want to play that because it's going to give them a Saga activation. So I'm just going to discard a Powder. Powder or Hollow One. Powder, because I can cycle the Hollow Ones. But we'll let their Saga die. So yeah, we're just slow rolling the land so that they don't get the, 10/10 creature that kills us. Black Lotus. Dak Faden. Okay. Seems fine. If you ask me. Leyline, Delta, Floodstrand. You got more? Got more of that action for us there. Narset. Oh, they got Lotus of Saga. Sure, Narset's fine then, I guess. So we're, not winning this game. Yeah, I think our opponent kept needle, leyline sort of thing, which is always going to be difficult for us. They've just got Underworld Breach, which is, a card that they're more than welcome to have. We've got a Lizard. So let's play a Cradle and pass the turn. So we do get a cycle. On their turn to look for another trap or a Vigor or something like this. River Ancestral. Ancestral himself. Pretty rude. Dak on himself again. Now it's going to be merchant scroll to find brain freeze, I imagine. They're setting up for next turn. Dig through time. Okay, so they've got brain freeze in hand then. Well, they just don't think it's necessary. We're going to cycle a hollow one. Cool. Play a Cradle, cast AggroVine, attack Narset. No attack Narset? No, Narset doesn't do anything. Attack Dak. I also dispute what Dak does for us. Attack Face. I mean, I think that's the place to go. And maybe I do need to pink Dak a little bit. I don't know, I'm so far behind already. Yeah, let's hit Dak Faden. Turn 6, 4-3 is the first play of the game for us. Oh no, I played a lizard. And then we lean on this trap. And if they haven't found forced blue cards in the top 38 cards of their deck or whatever, then yeah, under a breach. Lotus. Crack Lotus, and then they're going to brain freeze, and I'm going to trap the freeze, I think. Do I trap the freeze or do I trap the Lotus? I'm going to trap the Lotus, because then they need to find... Do they play LED? No LED. Yeah, let's trap this, because that way they'll counter it sooner, and then we'll be able to concede sooner. And maybe we shouldn't even actually show them trap. That was probably just useless play, actually. Probably really bad to show them the trap. Now they're going to play around trap next game. Cool. Yeah, I should not have done that. I should have just conceded. It's fine. Maybe Hexdrink is good on the... Maybe Hexdrink is good when they're doing the whole thing with needles and that. Don't like cutting endurance, don't like cutting a trap. I'm going to drop a Hogak. Hogak seem unnecessary in this matchup, actually. Completely unnecessary. Okay, I need to start making good decisions again. It makes my life easier when I do. So, yeah, this is a keep. They've mulliganed to 6. And they've kept on 6. So we'll activate Bazaar. That's AggroVine. And we'll slay. Would have been nicer if they were greener lizards, but you can't win them all, you know? You can't just get everything you want all the time. So, they're up to 7 cards after their draw step. We have got this trap. They've got a needle. That's absolutely fine by me, I think, at this point. Because this is going to get me to untaps. No, I'm just going to cradle, collect roof, and bash. Cradle, protect us against the tabernacle. Hollow one. Let's play this. Let's cast a collect roof and just play around days just because we can. Let's cycle this bad boy for a new trap. It's an endurance, tasty. So that's 6. They go to 10. I'd like a green card off the top of my deck next turn. Well, actually, just an untap step gets me to endurance, doesn't it? As a saga comes in. Does a saga save you from 8 points of damage though? Oh, Time Walk might. Let's do. Endurance. So let's attack with just Vengevine. Just Vengevine? Just Vengevine seems really weak. You've got 4 cards, I'd get in for 6 damage. If I attack with everything, they block the collect roof, I get in for 6. They then make another token. I flash an endurance. But they have access to artifacts. So they can get a Lotus. But if I don't do anything, then they get a 2/2, 3/3, 2 4/4s. How do I get through 2 4/4s? With this hand. How do I get through 2 4/4s when my hand is doing nothing about the board? I think I'm going to give them access to artifacts. Yeah, that's going to be my line. Because I think it's the only way I can get around the 2 4/4s, otherwise. And we're going to rely on endurance trap. To get us through their following turn. This might be an awful attack again. But I think there's enough justification to offer up the collector roof. I think attacking like this, like just for 5, is really bad. Because then they just chomp and then they get 2 4/4s. They take 5. But here, they're encouraged to trade, which means we get one of those creatures off the board. If they don't trade, their artifacts don't work, and that's fantastic for us. Yeah, that's what I expected. I can still cast Endurance next turn off of my Cradle. I'm not playing out the Bazaar. I don't see the need to. What do they think they need? They need mana, or do they need a blocker? I mean, they can get both, but now on 5 cards I need to come up with a kill. And they need to come up with a kill through endurance and mind break trap. Endurance is a lethal threat in itself. Forcing the endurance makes my 2 lizards lethal. And yeah, that collector roof attack is one of those decisions that you could definitely come to regret, in the same way that I'm still thinking about that keep against Medvedev last round. I don't know if the keep's right, I don't know if the bottom's right on the mulligan, but okay, so they're going for the token. And I imagine they're going to get the Lotus. And if they get Lotus and crack for red, I will respond to the breach with an endurance. They're going for blue for a preordain. We like that. We are fond of this. Ponder. Also a banger. So they haven't made a land drop yet. That's a Mox Emerald, so our trap's like well alive, but we're clearly not fighting an Emerald. Pithing Needle. Can't name anything with any relevance, right? Yeah, no. Okay, you got a Needle, that's fine. Naming Blazing, I guess. Like, that's the scariest thing in play right now. Yeah. They've certainly got a 4/4. They've got 1 mana floating and a land drop to give if they want it. But they've only got 3 cards now. So getting a bit close. It's getting awfully close for them. And even if they play Tabernacle here, we're going to cast the Endurance because the trap's so live. And then we can untap and pay. So they're in the tank. It's definitely a very tough spot. Trying to piece together a kill while staying alive. Priorities on me. I'm sorry, I don't know how long it's been on me. It might have been on me for ages. I've just been in a glaze. So let's cast an Endurance on, I guess. That gets through. We'll tuck their stuff back. And then we'll attack for lethal. That's a nice draw. What instant speed crap can they have here? Snuff out? No. And we win. Cool. 4-1. Going into the last round, a win will lock up top 8, and then a loss will probably make it somewhat close on breakers. They removed the breaker button because it doesn't work anyway. But 4-1. In contention still after that game against Medvedev. I'm really interested in your thoughts if you do make it this far through the video, just because I think it's a really interesting spot, and I think there is merits to the hand that we keep. But yeah, right. See you for round 6. Okay, nerds. It's winning in time. We're up against team leader, not applicable. He doesn't need anyone to guide him. We're going to keep this hand. It's very good. We are on the draw though, which is unfortunate. Most recent list from them was a Squee list, then it was a breach list, then it was a Squee list. Now it's a marsh flats. What the fuck does marsh flats mean in the world of vintage? Good God. Marsh flats go. Never mind. I've got some lizards. And then I've got some collect roofs. Marsh flats go. I'm not looking up marsh flats vintage. I'm just going to attack for 4. And then kill some artifacts. And then make sure artifacts can't be activated. That's roughly my plan. No Lurus revealed, but that is a scrub land, which I assume means we're getting ploughed. Bink! Yeah, but I'm on 24, so... What does this mean? Like Samwise, no Lurus? Okay, so... We could activate Bazaar of Baghdad. That's certainly something we could do. We could play a Cradle, attack for 2, and cast a Collector Roof. Or we could just wasteland them and then get our Bazaar activation in. Our Bazaar activation doesn't do much, right? So what we need to play around here is Orcish Bowmasters. It's like the most face-up Bowmaster you've ever seen. I think I'm kind of into... Cradle Slay. Cradle Slay, they flash in Bowmaster. They ping 1 and we pump it. They ping 1 and we let it go. And then we... So I need to play Yavin Maya then. So I can cast a Collector Roof post-combat. And if they just take the 2, they just take the 2. If they don't take the... If they put something in the way, then we'll do some blocking. Okay, I'll play Collector Roof. Yep. It's fine. Bring it to the rock. Strip mine works. Strip mine my Bazaar. That's... I wasn't activating it anyway. Another Bowman? Outland Liberator. Whoa, Outland Liberator's been smoking. Okay. So let's attack with the Collect Roof. May want to trade it off. Okay, it's fine. I'm going to play collector roof. They've got a collector roof. Okay, I see. I see the meme here. You know, when you just don't need force of vigors. So right, we'll get in for 3 with our little lizard man, and if they want to block, they can. Ah, they want to trade it all. I guess I want to put the oof in front in case they like randomly like ancestral me or some bullshit. And I don't think I'm going to go around wastelanding them. So none of their lands do anything. And they want to be wastelanding us because our lands are more precious than their lands. In my opinion. Collector roof, okay. What happens if I chalice on 1? That seems real bad. What happens if I chalice on 0? I can then trade off the oofs and they've got a 1-1. What happens if I do nothing? Then they continue to grind themselves ahead. I'm going to go attack, trade off the collector roofs, and then I'm going to go powder chalice. Come back. Archon of Emiria, sure. That's certainly annoying. Okay. So it looks like we're going to lose. We're going to see more cards out of their deck. Sure. They can have another token. Oh no, they can't. Lameo. I suppose that gives me an out at dismember, doesn't it? Okay, so Archons, Oofs are going to come out against us. Liberators are going to probably come out against us. Plows will stay in. Bowmaster's obviously their best card. Archon is acceptable. We clearly want our dismembers in this matchup. I'm just going to cast the Collector Roof. It's going to slow down their clock. I played 2 main deck dismembers, remember, so I've got decent outs to find something at some point. It's a Hex Drinker, which I'm kind of into. I should just put counters on it. I hope. Oh, it got through. Cool. No attacks, so I don't want to get bowmanned. Underground Sea is an ancestral. So up to 5 cards. And this Hexdrinker's going to race them, you know? This Hexdrinker's going to race them. Any green lizard is a freebie. I'm just going upstairs, yeah. He's on 8. The youth can jam as well. They might flash me with another bowmaster, but that's fine. No blocks. Dead to a time twister, but what are you going to do? Archon of Emeria. Like Hexdrinker, man. It comes down and turns this whole game upside down. Let's attack for 6. Pro the world. You're at 3. Just cast a hollow one, I guess. Crunch. Over to you. I'm at 10. They've got a bowman. I've got blockers. What an interesting game, yeah. We ship it. Give me the biscuits! So, Dismember seems fantastic. Endurance. Let's discuss endurance. Endurance has reach. I'm not sure how I feel about the vintage format when that's the quality of the main quality of the card that I'm considering. Although they're like a bug rock deck, right? Like you just gotta have a Tamagotchi. Like surely this is fine. Surely this is fine. I don't know how many I want yet. Chalice of the Void looks questionable. Trap and Leyliner crap. Besage, maybe just having access to my mana is really good. Hexdrinker looks busted. Vigor. I'm going to trim 1 because I'm expecting Needle. I need 5 cuts from this list. The Collector Reefs look real shit. And then, what? 1 more card. Maybe a Hogak because it's weak to POW. So now Graveyard Reliance isn't too massive. We've got some stuff to control Tarmogoyf and just block Archon of Emeria's with the Reach ability. I don't know if you guys have seen that before. Reach. It's like a game of fucking Limited now. Okay. So we need to focus and we need to keep 7 cards. Yes. The key to winning with Bazaar is keeping 7 card hands. That was a cool game though. Just like they basically had us on lock until we top decked that homie there at the end. Yeah, we'll powder this. Lotus has gone. So this is a baller, isn't it? I think we've got to mulligan because if you assume your first effect is getting ploughed, then this hand doesn't do anything. So we'll go to 5. We've got a Bazaar, we've got an Endurance, so we've got all the nerds, we've got everything we ever wanted. Powder's going to go back, that's for sure. And I guess the other dude is going to be the Cradle going back. Oh no, hang on, I got up at 1. Right, this game's broken. Sick. Oh yeah, powdered 1, didn't I? So I'll play 18 Moxen because they're bug. There we go. So turn 1 Bowmaster. But turn 1 Bowmaster's not like particularly... I mean, it's good, right? But... Oh, fetch land. Ancestral upkeep. Playing around my force of negations. Oh yeah, nice. Tidy, tidy, tidy. Okay. Another endurance. So let's play Bazaar and let's get our Bazaar activation in whilst it's good. Right, this is difficult. Because so ideally, I want all of these cards in my hand. I think I'm going to drop Cradle, Ruby, Endurance. What does that look like? That means I'm going to have Forest, Beseiju, Endurance in hand. And a Hex Drinker. And the reason I'm thinking Cradle is because the Hex Drinker can get binked by Bowmaster. So my Hollow One gets ploughed, my Hex Drinker gets Bowmastered. Yeah, so Cradle, Endurance, Ruby, and that's going to give me this green for... Is that good? Is that good? Ruby's good. Ruby's good with Hex Drinker. But I need green for Endurance. Yeah, now I'm going to do this. I've made my decision. I cast a Hollow One and pass the turn. And they do the troll thing. Okay, so troll, reanimate. Oh. They kill my Bazaar of Baghdad. And they don't reanimate. Actually, I yielded through that turn and that was really absolutely fucking stupid. Right. If I play a Hex Drinker, I don't have Endurance open for reanimate. I've got 7 cards in hand. Forest or Wasteland? They Wastelanded me. I'm going to play Forest. I'm going to play Forest and I'm going to try and work my way towards Hardcast Endurance whilst attacking for 4. Because like Wasteland, I don't think once they've Ancestraled, my Wasteland's particularly live to do anything screwy. Wasteland and Forest both beat Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale in whichever way I want it to. So that's a Scrubland. Still no reanimate. Did they reveal that Scrubland? They did, yeah. They've got green mana off of their thing, off their emerald. I'm going to attack for 4. And they've got the plough. I'm going to play a Beseiju. I'm going to pass the turn again. What the hell is that? Orcish Bowmaster, sure. So I get a 1-1. I go to 23. This is a turn I don't want them to have reanimate. Grief, motherfucker. That's really annoying. I could have been far more aggressive this game, but at every point they would have had like the Bowmaster into my Bazaar is horrific. So, you know, playing the Hex Drinker earlier, it just gets Bowmanned. So I probably just tuck anyway, don't I? No, I can't tuck. No, they only get one of the cards. They only get one of the cards. Endurance goes. Okay. So I'm going to get him for 2. Okay. I can draw a Mox here, that'd be dope. Another endurance, tasty. Let's play this. Have our hand face up. Another grief. We'll cast endurance this time. Now we need some help to beat these griefs. Oh, just got another plough. Now I'm just going to lose. I'll take 5. Play a bazaar. Let's pass the turn. Make it look like we're trying to get up. Demonic Tutor. Ancestral yourself, okay. Wasteland. Outland Liberator. Cast an endurance. They're going to waste me in response. No, they're not. Okay. Yes, they are. Yeah, I'm going to give it a spin. I think I have to. Wrecked. Absolutely browned. Oh, dearie me. Good game. So I may as well block the 3/3 now, right? Because I can't... All my bazaars have gone. That was hilarious. AggroVine, classic. Okay, it's going to go to game 3. It's going to go to game 3. Just the griefs. We lose some life points. Random my Hex Drinker. Cute. Cool. Good game. I can't beat that. 2 bazaars. Oh yeah. Sweet. So... Our Force of Vigors look like total crap, don't they? We didn't see a needle. I'm just going to say they don't have needle, and if they do, I've got Pasage. I'm going to bring my Hogak back. I'm going to bring 2 Collectroos in. The Collectroos aren't much, but they are Grizzly Bears, which is where we're aspiring to be in this matchup, I think. Who can play more Grizzly Bears? So, I'm not sure with how I played that. I tried to play a lot around the Bowmasters, early Bowmasters and stuff. This hand's nonsense. This hand is also nonsense. This hand might not be nonsense, okay. Mulligan to 4 or keep these. So what's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just so crap. This is just so crap. Right, do I want just a bunch of rubbish creatures in play? Or do I want to go to 4 and risk missing? I think I just want to go to 4 and get a good bazaar hand. Decent. Put 3 cards on the bottom. Oof, Ruby, Endurance. Yeah. Leaving the game with 7 cards in hand. If this is the time they reveal Leyline, I'm going to just lose the game, actually. just die on the spot to ley line. I don't like this pause. They've already kept, which means they've got pre-game actions. Which means we die, right? We didn't see a ley line last game. Oh, God. Get wrecked. Well, let's put some Vengevines into exile then. That's the best place for them. Oh, fuck. So this is one of those games where we do get absolutely browned by the wasteland. Yeah, we're dead. So we need to hope for 4 and 2 being good then, it looks like. Play a Verdant. And the Ancestral. Yeah, so we need to hope that 4 and 2 gets us in. Otherwise it's going to be like a possible top 16 finish. Green source? No. And then we'll sit here and wait for them to kill us. I don't know what we're hoping for. Basic forest. Yeah, death rate chance fine. So what's going to happen here? We're going to dismember. We're going to go to 11, and then we'll take 4, going to 7, and then we'll go to 3. All right, mate. That's fine. We're going to concede, and we're going to hope that it's good enough. So, yeah. Good luck in the top 8. There we go. Good games. Unfortunate at game 3 here, where maybe that endurance plus power hand is good, but I don't think it is. And then, yeah, just unfortunate they've got a ley line. But, yeah, right. Let's see if we make it on breakers then. Yeah, I'll let you know either way. I'll see you there. Okay, now to quick update. We got break it out, so we're 12th place in the end, which is fine. I'm happy with that as a general result. This was the deck for today. Pretty pleased with how it went. It's one of those things I would rather be on the Squee deck, but it's just not playable at the moment. I think every single round we play, yeah, a lot of the rounds we play against someone with wastelands sort of thing. Squee's just not very well positioned, so I'm looking at this list a lot at the moment. I like the main deck dismembers. I like the 18 land build. It allows you to be like a much more like aggressive with your discards, and like a bit more insulated against the wastelands and stuff. And then like trimming on these guys, they are very powerful, but it just lets us be a bit less reliant on the graveyard. Even though that last round, yeah, I took out my vigors and then got ley lined, and then But I think I don't know. Maybe we're not supposed to be taking out vigor, but then also people. Like leyline doesn't do a lot against us, so it's not even clear if people should be bringing it in that exact spot. It works really well in a lot of other spots, as we've seen. It doesn't do anything. But yeah, 4 and 2, top 16. Fairly happy with that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.